Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do. And if self-preservation is an instinct you possess, you better do it, and do it quick. I'm here to help. If my help's not appreciated, then lots of luck, gentlemen. If I'm curt with you, it's because time is a factor. I think fast, I talk fast. I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. So, pretty please, with sugar on top. Listen to Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
A third of the people love you, a third don't care about you, and a third hate you. So you concentrate on the third that love you and you go for it.
I think the greatest Achilles heel for leaders is they don't give themselves time to think.
So my journey is one of those, like there are a lot of detours. There's a lot of going off on the side roads.
Thrive Out listeners, you're in for a treat. We're here with Jamal Mashburn,
Jesse Itzler,
the John Maxwell,
Jackie the Joke Man Martling, New York Rangers great Mike Richter,
Lisa Lampanelli,
Mary Carrillo.
Oh, how nice.
I'm actually going through the practice of being an entrepreneur.
Pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and thrive loud.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Yeah, sure. We'll give you the update, Oren, and then we'll catch up here, my friend. So first of all, it's been one crazy, wild summer. As I was just actually on my show, and we often, as you remember, as a guest on my program, Oren, we love to ask like people what their favorite movie was, and someone just said Summer Rental. I don't know if you remember that classic.
Oh yeah.
With John Candy.
John Candy, no longer with us. But favorite, it's really interesting. Well, I'll wait for you to ask what my favorite movie is. Patton. No.
You already did that. We already went through this whole bit with you on this show.
I've got a new favorite movie.
What's your new favorite movie now?
So I watched Avengers Infinity War.
Pretty damn good.
And they really modernized. So in some ways, if you go, what are the greatest books of all time, right? And you go to that list and they'll say, oh, the Brothers Karamazov, right? And you read these great referred to pieces of literature. They move so goddamn slow compared to the narratives today. Like one episode, the script from 24, season 4, episode 7 is 10 times better than the Brothers Karamazov because we know now narrative structures, like what holds people's attention. The writers know how to write. They just sat around all day writing, describing shit. That doesn't make a good book. Like so Avengers Infinity War and the real shifting point in narrative structures was the West Wing. So the West Wing, what they did is they said, we're going to put twice as much narrative in the same amount of time and move way faster. And people are like, wow, audiences want narrative shifts much more quickly. They want much more information much faster than in the past. And then it moved to 24, right? And so then Infinity War picked up on that. Right. And they move you through a very compelling narrative. It's well structured. They got good visuals and it moves very fast. It's well paced. It's just got everything. So
I think it's actually a good observation that people are now compressing that amount of content into that short amount of time because we can handle it. And maybe before all our sensory pieces, we're actually able to adapt it. So we probably like it more. It'd be interesting if we went back in time with all of that stuff being hit with us at once, if society or viewers would be able to take it on that way. It'd be interesting to see like if we've just built our way up to it, or would we be able to handle it beforehand? But there are amazing, the technology, the CGI, all that stuff is a lot of fun.
What are you watching on Netflix?
So I'm watching 2 shows on Netflix. I'm watching Schitt's Creek, which is absolutely hysterical. Eugene Levy and his son, who's producing this whole thing, it's genius. It's fun writing. And what else am I watching? As you just said that, I'm actually watching more. I like shows like Billions. I like shows that, come in those little doses. My wife actually and I are watching that show, Big Little Lies, which is great acting, but really depressing at the same heart of it. But I need to be getting.
Oh, if you want something, empowering and uplifting and really feel good and send you a bit happy, just watch Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, It's not feel good. You will not make you feel good.
It'll make me feel
It's how
miserable.
technology, is turning against us.
So I guess the question is this an Oren Klaff show? Or is this a Lou Diamond Thrive Loud show? We never know.
Yeah, this is a Lou Diamond show. So
here
I'm
we
now.
are.
Yes,
So Thrive Loud listeners, hopefully you've been enjoying a little bit of catch up, and that's exactly what this is. We are here catching up with former guest Oren Klaff, who is one hell of a sales guy, one hell of a pitch guy, because that's one of his big things. And we want to catch up with him and learn exactly what he's up to, because he's up to something new. So Oren, let's bring our listeners up to speed and share a little bit with what you got going on, because I heard you have some big things on the horizon.
I have some big things. One thing I learned since last time, Lou, is when dealing with you, just when you think you know the answer, I change the question.
There you go. That's so true. So what question did you change?
Well, so for 6 or 7 years, I lived on the accolades and the impact of Pitch Anything, the book. Since we sold 1 million copies of that book with zero advertising, it's just word of mouth, and that really dragged me into the national, international consciousness. And my agent kept saying, "Hey, write another book," and then I never thought much of it. Then 5 years on, I'm like, "Oh, it's time to write another book," because I've now trained 80,000 salespeople from the stage in person. I walk down the street, I walk in the supermarket, and somebody walks up to me, "Hey, you're Oren Klaff, fuck!" Right? I know that, and then my coffee flies up my face. And I have to go home and get changed, and I'm late for it doesn't matter what country when we go to, I get off the plane and somebody goes, "Hey, there's Oren Klaff." So I'm sort of riding on that wave, right? And then it happened. I went to England, landed London, Heathrow, get off the plane with my family. I get all the way to a cab, go to my hotel, and I'm there for a day, and nobody goes, "Hey, you're Oren Klaff." So I go, "My star is fading. I better write a book." So I call my publisher and my agent, and I say, "Hey, I'm ready. I got another book in me," right? She goes, "Oh God, I've been waiting." She's like, "I got old waiting for you to write another book." I go, "No, I got it." So we go on a book tour, or go to the publishers, and we sit down with them, and it's just pretty obvious to me. Like, I sold 1 million copies of Pitch Anything. Everybody's going to want Pitch Anything 2, or the next book. And they're like, "Meh." And so it turns out, Tim Ferriss, who else can I pick on? Maybe Tony, all the guys I know, Tim Ferriss, Tony, who else had big first books. So there's a reputation of guys who have big first books, right? That aren't real writers. They're not literature guys. They don't have a second book in them. And the second book is all, references to the first book. And so the big publishers go, Pitch Anything, great. Not sure you got a second book in you. You're like one of those guys. I'm like, "No, really." And I never thought I would be like pitchy. "No, really, I do." But I found a great partner in Random House Portfolio, Ryan Holiday, and some guys who know Seth Godin, and they have a huge roster. Actually, who blurbed my new book is from the Challenger sale, Matt Dixon. So they have a huge roster of really great guys, and so they signed up for it. And I go, I'm going to write this book in like 6 months, right? And the book is called The User's Guide to Power. So I go to write.
I like it.
I finish the book after 9 months. I get ready to submit it. My button is hovering over the button to hit send, and I go, "They were right. I don't have. This is not it. 70,000 words gone. Maybe kept 20,000 of them." I go, "That's not the book." So then I sat down to write it again. They're like, "Where's the book? Like, this manuscript is true." My agent like, "Where's the book?" I'm like, "No, that's not it." They were right. Like, that's not it. It's a simulacrum. It's a proxy. It's an illusion. It's not my real second book. It was like my first try at draft, but it wasn't it. So I sat down and I wrote it again. And that took me another 7 months, sort of, pulling, but it was basically a restart. And I'm running a company and running a life, and I got a 4-year-old now, right? And how old are your kids again?
Much older. They're like 19 and 17, but I remember 4.
Think back to 4, right?
Yeah,
and there's a lot going on with the 4-year-old. One of the things that goes on with the 4-year-old is at 5:30 in the morning, "Dad, are you awake?" No, I am. I want to be nice because this is recorded, but no, I'm not awake, right? That's why you had to ask me if I'm awake, because it's obvious I'm not. So go to bed late, wake up early, 4-year-old. So anyway, I finished the second draft of the new book, right? And I'm so proud of it. My fingers hovering over. I'm like, I can't send it. It's not it's there. It's good. It's publishable. People will buy it, love it, read it, but it's not. Doesn't have Oren Klaff in its DNA, the beating heart of it. So I pull my finger back from the sand. I go for a third try, right? So now we're going on 2 years, and this book, motherfucker, is the shit that killed Elvis. Like this, you could bury me with this book, and I will say I lived it. This book here is Pitch Anything taken to the next level of just everything. The stories are true. They're amazing. It's an easy read. It shows you how to walk in a room, get on a phone call, make a presentation, record a video, and immediately indicate to someone to put down your phone, sit still. You're getting pitched professionally, and you're gonna and you're in the hands of something you want, you need, you love, and you're excited to be there. And it shows you. The book is called Flip the Script, and it shows you the scripts in order. And it's so funny. Sorry, I'm taking over your show. I'm not letting you have any questions. But
loving every minute of it. Keep going, Oren. This is why you're on.
This is the first interview I've done with a real person. Like,
there's some non-real people out there. I know those robots that are doing podcasts now.
No. Lou, here's what non-real interviewers do is they go, so I believe you have a second book, which is a follow on your first book. Can you tell us a little bit about it? No, motherfucker, I cannot give you the audible. What, you want me to read you the book? We have half an hour, 40 minutes. Right, yeah. Okay, sorry.
I just let you roll, Oren, because I want to hear more. So keep going. I want to hear about Flip the Script.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So there's 8 majestic stories in here about real situations. As I said, I might have said on your show before, like if you go to the North Face store in Beverly Hills, right? It's 100 feet above sea level, right? But they sell you stuff that you could go live on Mount Kilimanjaro for a year. The coats, the oxygen, the shoes, the stuff, right? They didn't develop that stuff in Beverly Hills. They had to go up Kilimanjaro. They had to go up K2. They had to go to Nepal. They had to die metaphysically, spiritually, and sometimes physically,
right,
to make that stuff. And that's what is in Flip the Script is the deals, that were so high stakes, where $50 million were at stake, where you never have exposure to this stuff. And so we told those stories about going to Russia, about going to Switzerland, about going, doing a giant deal in Czechoslovakia, and multiple deals in America as well. It's not a tale of international travel. But what's interesting is like chapter, I have it here. So good. So chapter 4 turned out to me to be like the best chapter, right? The best story, the best writing, the best, most usable content. You could go to your next meeting and apply it right away. It's on pre-wired ideas. I can talk about that for a minute. And I'm like, I just want to move chapter 4 to where chapter 1 is.
Right.
It's the best, right? It's like grabs you right away. And I tried to move it and it didn't work. Like it's such a book. It's written chronologically. And so the scripts take you through. So the basic idea of the book is Inception.
Okay. Right? I love it already. One of my favorite movies, by the way.
Yeah. Well, no. The subtitle, I don't know. Do you have video? Can you see me?
I can see you. Yeah. Looks good. I see the yellow book. Looking good. Yeah. You still have hair. It's all wonderful.
Yeah, I was going to do this with I usually, if there's no video, I just do it in my underwear.
But our listeners can't see you, so you're going to have to describe the book for them. So
is it okay I take my clothes off then?
You could, actually.
More comfortable.
It might that'll make me uncomfortable, maybe just a little.
That's how the guy, the American Journal CEO.
If I take off my top, would that be okay with you?
No, then this could lead to dancing.
Exactly.
That's why the Baptists don't like dancing, right?
Why do the Baptists not?
Oh, sorry, no, they don't. The Baptists don't approve of sex, right?
Right.
Because it could lead to dancing.
There you go. I love it. All right. So we, by the way, for those listening, it is a very cool, big book, yellow backroom page with black font. Flip the Script, and it's actually written on the side, like as if you were to open it up, landscape kind of a thing. Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah, don't make me.
We'll put show art on the.
Don't make me come over here and hit you in the head with this book. It's going to leave a giant yellow splotch.
It looks pretty big, by the way. It looks like a big book, like a long book.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. I'm in charge of writing it. Like, there's book people who do the other stuff. By the way,
Yes.
For all you people who are like, I'm going to self-publish a book, don't. Right? Like, their publishers serve a function. They're not multi-billion-dollar companies because they don't know what they're doing. Like, they turn it into a book. They make decisions that you, having never produced a book before, they stop you from doing bad things and they help you do good things. Don't do a homemade self-published book if you want a real book. Anyway, so Inception. So I'll tell you a quick story. Guy comes in my office, and this started happening all the time, but I remember sort of the first time it happens. We pitch him. We're going to help him sell his company. It's a big deal who you choose, right? It's not like a one sit and kill pitch, right? You pitch them on your capability, your strength as a firm, as a bank, how you're going to undertake the project, what your team is. And then they have to go think about it. They don't go in one meeting, yeah, you're hired. They got to talk to other firms. It's a process. It's like it's like hiring an accounting firm. It's just not a one sit down. So anyway, the guy leaves, right? After giving him a 40-minute pitch. Yeah, I like you. Go to talk to my accountant, talk to my team and everything like that. So he leaves. 60 seconds later, comes back in the door, right? This is not good because usually it means they went to their car and got a gun.
Did he get a gun? Bring one to the meeting?
No, didn't have a gun. So he comes back into the conference room, takes out a checkbook, right? And he writes a check for $15,000. And we don't sell anything for we don't have an item that's $15,000, right? He goes, let's just get started. Well, what I've learned is when somebody writes you a check for $15,000, you take it, you cash it, you escrow it in case they want it back for some reason, but you take it and you cash, you go, great, right? And on no contract, no specific product, no anything, just comes in, writes a random check for $15,000, let's get started, and leaves, right? And so I'm like, what just happened? But it happens over and over and over again, where some point along the way of talking to them and running them through the things that are in Flip the Script, people just come up with the idea to buy from you on their own. And that's what this book is about.
I like
Not 99 ways to close. Hey, Mr. Jones, press hard, 5th copy's yours. We saw some funny closes on the internet today, that all end up with handing somebody a pencil, and waiting. There's no close, right? What happens is when people come up with the idea that they want to hire you, they want to work with you, they want to book you, they want to buy from you, that is incredibly resilient and strong and resistant to discounting and makes everything frictionless and easy. So how do you put the idea in someone's mind and percolate it and massage it in a nuanced way so they go, you know what? We should do something together. Oh, really? What do you think? Well, how about, we go into contract for 90 days. Yeah, sounds great. How do we start? That's what this book is about. I
like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like you don't need to go 4 levels deep into the deep dreams of Leonardo DiCaprio's head. You got to get that concept of how to get in there. This sounds smart.
Right. And really, step 1 is when they come in, you put a roofie in their coffee.
Or you haven't changed. I was saying, obviously, lots of things are up, but the same, humor and tactics are there.
Even though I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's all good. So here you are. You got a new book out. You're now proud of it. You literally went through the birth of an elephant or a hippopotamus, whatever one is longer, to bring it out. You now feel good about it.
And can I just share a personal moment? So when it was the 3rd time to submit the manuscript, like this is the one, no matter what you hit, when you hit send, they're going to print it, right? Like it goes into an editorial process and they, the grammar and everything like that, but they're going to print it. You can't go back and go, no, right? And so I have my little boy who's now 5. He was -20 when I started writing the book.
I was going to say.
5.
Go ahead.
But I had him hit send.
Oh, that's
right.
Good.
And he, 5, he's pretty switched on, and that really had some impact on him, and he knew what he was doing. It meant something. And my wife and I, the next day, came into the kitchen. He wakes up much earlier than us, tries to wake us up. We go back to bed. Everybody with the kid knows that drama. But we go in, and we're about to turn the corner in the kitchen. He's sitting at the kitchen table reading the the galley, the copy of the book that we had, we get a galley that is a mock-up, right? He can't read, but he's just sitting there 5, 6, 7 minutes, turning the pages, reading it. And so anyway, whatever your listeners are going, can I click off of this show? But it's so meaningful if you have
No, they're definitely not. This is Thrive Loud, Oren. They stay on all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, they want to stay on to the end and say, Lou, never have that guy back.
Well, wait, this is awesome. Obviously, that's a great personal moment, having your kid involved in the process. And then he's like,
thank you.
Whether it's dealing with it. And by the way, kudos to you. I know how challenging this stuff can all be. I'm going to ask this question because I've heard you speak. I've seen you work with salespeople. From what you do and what you love to do in communicating this message, and I think the listeners can tell how passionate you are about this new idea. What are you looking forward to as you start to tell more and more people like you are right here about this book and the process and the new way that you're going to go reach out and tell people a little bit more?
Yeah. So what I'm really looking forward to is getting this in the hands of people, and they will see that first of all, give me a few minutes to answer this, right? So first of all, I want to get to the hands of people so they agree. Today, and this is the big idea. This is on page 1 of the book. Things are bought. They aren't sold. Today, things are bought. People want to buy. That's why you have to allow them to have inception, right? You have to give them the information and guide them. I don't want to use the word covertly, but you have to guide them subtly and firmly towards the desire to buy, right? As a participant, but they don't want to be sold, right? Because what they want is, hey, give me the information, send a proposal, then I want to get on the internet and I want to find 5 other people that provide the same service or product or set of ideas, right? I want to send them your quote, your proposal, and see if they can do better, right? And buyers today never believe that they're actually at the best offer, right? There's sort of this sense of you don't get what you don't ask for, right? And Amazon and everything has trained people, eBay, right? So if you're willing to take a little bit more risk, you can find the car, you can find the furniture, you can find the product. Everybody, there's got to be a better deal, right? On a $7 thing for your plug for your computer, there's got to be a way to get it for $4.99. It would just, it's almost like the new social, mechanism. So recognizing that things are bought, they aren't sold, is once people see that, then they can see the conspiracy that's out there of giving a presentation or giving a pitch. These are the features and benefits, right? These are the things you'll get. These are these are the logos of the customers that we've won. Here's our social proof on, social media. Here's a demo, and then selling with the discount and doing a trial close, right? There's, and any sales book, any sales video out there is some more shiny advanced version of that, right? Here's the features. Here's the benefits. Here's proof that we're good guys. Here's a reason to buy today with a discount and a trial close. Out come the objections and trying to overcome the objections and close. So my goal is for people to see that conspiracy has run its course and no longer works today. Things are bought, they aren't sold. So then so where I want this to go is I want the best companies in the world to adapt this, right? And then they come to my events, or they come into, Pitch Mastery, where we work with them, and I'm, surrounding myself with the most capable, the smartest, the most profitable, most advanced people and companies in the world. And that makes my life fun.
I like it. And by the way, I'm all about helping people buy. You're not selling. That's what this world has turned to be, with recognizing that flip and flip the script, which is what you do really well.
Well, I think I'm also for folks who are engineers, folks who are moms, or dads, folks who are creatives, who have this incredible value system based on truth, honesty, integrity, not on showmanship. but they also have to ask, they have to sell, they have to ask for resources, right? And they get incredibly, the reason those kinds of people feel uncomfortable with selling, like when I talk about my brother all the time, he's like, I don't play games. I'm like, oh, you just play the I don't play games game. Right?
That's your game, is that you don't play games. That's it.
The reason he says that is the more you get away from your core values, what you believe is integrity, honesty, truth, transparency, community, right? And selling moves you away from those values because you want something from somebody else. And you sort of have to start compromising and discounting, right? The very nature of discounting is getting away from your values, right? Which is, I offer something, it's worth a lot, you should pay for it. Right? And then somebody says, hey, I want a discount. And now you're moving away from your values. So I think this book fills the gap for people who don't want to move away from their core values, to retain who they are, why they exist, what they do, what they're proud of, how they're seen in the community, right? And still be able to sell very aggressively, very strongly, very firmly without any compromise in who they are. And that's why I say flip the script, because the normal script is sell till you die, always be closing, never say no, chase the customer, right? So where you're always comfortable is when people are chasing you and you're saying no. That never makes you uncomfortable. Hey, so if you have a house to sell, right? Like where you live in Southern, by the way, where are you?
I'm just outside of New York City. And
that's it. I forgot. Yeah. So New York City, you have a house in New York City or an apartment or whatever, whatever you guys call those small things that you have there to sell. But you have a house in New York City, you have a house in Southern California, in a good neighborhood, you list it and people are making you offers and you're going, no, that doesn't really work for us, right? They're chasing you. They want what you have. You're not uncomfortable doing that. You're like, hey, we're valuing offers. We want to find a good buyer. We want to close reasonably. We want a good family to move in our house. Right. And that's very comfortable, right? Because you're coming from integrity. You're allowing people to buy your house because it's a good neighborhood. So we want to create that same thing. When you feel like you're selling, right, it is uncomfortable, except for the most hardened, chiseled, 90s go New York stockbrokers kind of greed style of selling. And those guys now, that stuff isn't working. So even that's so it's no longer like I don't do that, right? I don't do that 90s style, hey, Mr. Jones, press hard, fifth copy's yours. If I could get you the color you want, well, do we have a deal today? What's the price that you would buy at today, right? So for over the years, we look like I'm not that guy and I'm not going to do that, right? So I'm not going to compromise myself. And those are the guys who would close the deals because they were, uber aggressive like that. But today, that stuff doesn't work.
And
right?
flip the script is what connects. I like it. I do like the way you've done here.
Yes.
Oren, let's do this. Let's do the quick wrap here so we can rock and roll here. Share all the places we can find Flip the Script. We'll give all the links in the show notes, but just give us any direct thing that we should be sending people to.
Yeah. So today you have to bounce over to two places. Flip the Script bonus. You get chapter 1. Flip the Script bonus, you get chapter 1.
Not chapter 4, the one we really want, but chapter 1. Okay.
You can get chapter 4. Here's how. Send Amazon $17 on August 13th. That's how you get chapter. That's how I get, by the way, I don't have some secret stash of books. I don't have a book. This, what I'm showing you here, this is a galley. It's like a paperback on old tissue paper. But the real book, I don't even have yet. Okay. So the deal is
August 13th it comes out.
August 13th is drops. We have to talk again about the experience of recording an Audible. Because if you've ever done that, that is a whole thing unto itself. Okay.
Another podcast.
Another podcast. Flip the Script bonus. And then if you just go to Pitch Anything, the old standby, pitchanything.com, you're going to get a notice about it in all the resources anyway. So Pitch Anything and Flip the Script bonus, and you're going to be set up with more than you ever needed.
Oren Klaff, I'm going to be out in your neck of the woods in September. I'm going to have to come by and we'll do like a photo op or something like that.
Well, so sometimes people go, hey, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods, right? And they're like, I'm coming to California. Right?
No, I'm going to be in Southern California. Southern California. I know where you're going to be.
All right, yeah. Come by, right? I forgot if you're a car guy or not. Are you a car guy?
I like cars. I do. I think you have some interesting ones to say the least.
Yeah, we'll try not to Paul Walker you, right?
Oh, no, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, we'll take you out in the G550. We'll take you out in the Lamborghini. We'll take you out in the R8. We'll take you out in the monster truck. We'll take you out in the Defender. And then we'll shift to motorcycles. And after that, we'll shift to bicycles, skateboards, boogie boards, surfboards. And you're going to leave near dead or dead. That's the plan.
Oren Klaff, always a pleasure. Thank you for sharing everything on Thrive Loud. Flip the script, my friend. I like it.
Thank you, Lou.
Great to catch up, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay, talk soon. Yeah, bye now.
And to all our Thrive Loud listeners out there, thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.